Welcome to Adaverse. My name is Gigi, and I'm joined here today with my colleague Frosty.
Hey everyone.
Today we have a very special interview with members of the ErgoDEX team, lead developer Ilya Oskin and product manager Yasha Black.
And thank you so much to the Ergonaut community. Without you guys, this truly would not be possible. We hope you enjoy the show. Recording is now in progress. Gigi, maybe you could get us started with the first question.
Yeah. So where do you guys live?
Well, I'm living in Moscow.
The same. Same.
And
yeah, our core team is based in Moscow, and we have some employees from other countries and other places in the earth. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you're Russian?
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you first get introduced to blockchain?
Well, as for me, I got introduced into blockchain in 2017. I took part in a blockchain hackathon held here in Moscow, and we won in our track and got into blockchain company. It was a blockchain startup called Enki Blockchain. We were core developers there.
Yeah, and talking about me, I just took a part in Ergo project for a year ago, I think, as a front-end developer. Then I helped Ergo team with some product stuff to package their product and vision and marketing things for users. And I also have a lot of experience in front-end and user interface development in the web. And also I have many experience working in such companies, large Russian companies as Mail Group, as a product manager. Yeah, something like that.
And so your first experience with blockchain was actually with Ergo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very interesting. And so now you guys are obviously building ErgoDEX. What does a typical day look like for you guys, and how do you collaborate together?
Yeah, our team consists of people who are quite autonomous and they do not need directive management. We just each team member just understand what is his role and what he needs to do to be successful in this role. Yeah, and so what does a typical day looks like? Mostly we're working from home, but sometimes we get together in the co-working space to discuss some important features or strategy or architectural issues. And yeah, and then we are meeting co-working. So the most of time we're working from home, yeah.
It looks like ErgoDEX will be one of the first decentralized exchanges on the market with cross-chain capabilities. How do you guys do it?
Actually, we are not still doing that. We currently implement our DEX on top of Ergo and Cardano separately. It's first time it will be two separate DEXs, not connected, just in one interface, in one UI. But we are already working on an atomic cross-chain exchange protocol, which our cross-chain DEX will be based on. But currently we are working on it in the background because we have to implement our core functionality first. So for now, it's only a draft, I'd say, but I guess the research will be accelerated once we finish with core functionality. I mean, when when ErgoDEX is live on Ergo, which is already done, and we have to launch it on Cardano in production mode. But describing our cross-chain DEX generally, I'd say it will combine some sort of atomic swap protocol and also wrapped assets in order to transfer, for example, native Cardano assets to Ergo to make them tradable on the other blockchain. I guess there will be some sort of paper published when we have some sustainable results, some prototype maybe.
Okay, so will all Ergo assets be interchangeable with Cardano assets on ErgoDEX?
Yeah, as I said, it will be done um, based on this protocol I described. Basically, if you want to trade Ergo asset on Cardano, we will lock Ergo asset on Ergo blockchain and mint wrapped form of this asset on Cardano. This should work like this.
And for the first iteration, just to clarify for everyone, you have two separate DEXs, the same UI, but basically you can only swap ERG native assets on the Ergo native decentralized exchange, and you can only swap Cardano assets on the Cardano native decentralized exchange. Is that how that works?
Yeah, exactly. You will be able to switch between Ergo and Cardano networks, but when you, for example, on Ergo network, you will be able to access only those pairs which are based on Ergo assets, and the same for Cardano. And when cross-chain swap is implemented, there should be available pairs consisting of, for example, Cardano native asset and Ergo native asset.
Okay.
Yeah, it will simply look like your checkbox, and then you have a cross-chain swap. It will looks like that.
I see. And do you guys have, I know it's hard to exactly say, but at least somewhat of a timeline in your head for when you think this can get rolled out?
You mean cross-chain swaps?
That's right, yeah.
That's planned for 2022 because the research is only in the initial phase. So it's hard to predict what results we will have during testing of this protocol. So I'd avoid to commit to some specific date of launch, but 2022 is the most specific date I can currently estimate.
That's cool.
Yeah. Could you talk about the ErgoDEX token?
Maybe let's get to it in the end after all questions. Would it work for you?
Well, that's perfect too, because the last question we'll ask is if you have any final remarks. So that'll be the perfect time to sort of elaborate on that.
Yeah, great.
So on to the next question. As other Ergo projects continue to build projects that could potentially rely on the use of ErgoDEX, what is the process that you guys have envisioned for supporting the projects for smooth compatibility?
First of all, we are working on different kinds of software development kits in order for other projects to be able to integrate with our protocol easily and smoothly. Currently, we have JavaScript SDK. We extracted as a separate package an Ergo SDK from it. Those builders who are working on DApps in Ergo ecosystem can use it and basically those projects will rely on the same stack as the ErgoDEX do. So it will make an integration easier, I think. Also, what I especially like regarding UTXO is that in UTXO smart contracts are very composable. So other projects can, for example, read data from ErgoDEX pools, for example, to get actual price feed right from on-chain. So that way, other projects can integrate with ErgoDEX, interact with it, read on-chain data from it, and this should be done. This should make integration smoothly.
And are there plans for farms to stake LP tokens?
Yeah, Alexei.
Yeah, potentially we have plans to implement leverage farming using our DEX, and actually we plan to release a decentralized lending platform. So, and our token, we suppose, and we believe that will be used in this kind of system. So, but these are all questions about the future. While now we're focusing all our resources on the DEX. Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, potentially we are considering an implementation of some kind of leveraged liquidity farming schemes, but we already have a DEX for it, but also a decentralized lending platform is required in order to implement it. So I guess that's also a good use case for our token. I mean, ErgoDEX token. It can also be used in these schemes in order to accelerate liquidity farming.
I see. On top of that, so there's all of these novel applications that are opened by Ergo's technology. What are you most excited about in regards to Ergo's technology and the future?
Well, I'm as a DApp developer mostly excited about Sigma State V5 version 5. It has really significant improvements in it, and it will make life of DApp developers much easier. It will make smart contracts cheaper. It will make them more predictable, and the whole working process smoother for developers at first.
And who inspires you guys?
Well, for me, the main source of inspiration is Ergo itself. It's very I think it matches my values in many places. So for me, it's Ergo.
Yeah, for me, absolutely the same. When I first read the paper, which Kushti or Alex Chepernoy released on the Ergo website, and Ilyas sent it to me, I was like, wow, it's something.
Yeah, we are talking about Ergo Manifesto.
But yeah, Ergo Manifesto. I just forgot how it's called. Yeah, and when Ilyas sent it to me, something changed inside me, and yeah, it's really cool concept, and I'm absolutely committed every point in this paper.
Yeah, I think those are really special words that they put down on that paper that sort of serve as like the vision and guidance for all of us when we're building on Ergo, whether it's, you know, building it from the community side or the technical side.
Yeah, and we are trying to build ErgoDEX on the same set of values and principles as described in the Ergo Manifesto.
And I think the community is already starting to notice that, where some of, not all of the other dexes, but there are a few dexes that have certainly proposed to take a considerable amount of the allocation. And obviously the token allocation for ErgoDEX hasn't been released, but we'd imagine that it's a fairly small portion that the team takes and a very wide distribution amongst the public.
Yeah, we are not ready to release this information currently, but we'll see how you guess will match the truth.
Let's see. Another thing we're interested in. Are you guys into the NFT space at all? Are you buying any Ergo NFTs, Cardano NFTs?
No, I'm not interested in NFTs. I'm not buying them. This is not my topic, you know.
Yeah, the same for me, to be honest. It is interesting in terms of to develop NFT marketplace, decentralized one. Maybe someday we will make something like that, but we're not passionate a lot about NFTs at all.
But frankly speaking, I've seen a few interesting artworks on Ergo auction house, so I guess I was close to buying some of them. And maybe I will do it someday. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting too, because I guess when you guys say you're not particularly interested in the NFTs, you're referring to more like the current application of it, which is all focused on art, as opposed to the actual technological applications that are involved outside of the art. And I think that's what we'll see next in the industry, is even now we're starting to see the art shift to NFT gaming. And then after that, we'll probably see that interact with DeFi and lending one way or another. I'm not exactly sure yet, but it seems like that's the natural progression we're headed in.
Yeah, maybe in future we can do something like something like maybe assets composed of many other assets, including NFTs, like it's this but you know, this approach is called synthetic assets, as far as I know. Yeah, so maybe we will implement something like that on top of the system we are currently building. I'd say I'd call it an ecosystem.
Ecosystem or super D app.
Before we finish off, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. Maybe returning to the question about our token. There was a great demand from community for this token, but we were waiting in regards with this token in order to not release it in some premature form. We tried to find some application really useful for our users, for our community of the token in our system. And our first thoughts were that this token will be introduced in order to implement some kind of governance. Because there was a problem of bots centralization until we solved it. And we were considering to make a governance token. So there were rumors around that ErgoDEX token will be made for governance in the first place. But later, when we just decentralized our off-chain solution, our bots, there is no need for governance token for this purpose. So we kind of found another interesting application of ErgoDEX token. I've already told about some of applications, but others will be disclosed once we finished our tokenomics, and then we will release it to community.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
so
maybe
much
some
for
other
coming on the
questions.
show.
I guess we are talking for half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Ilya, Yasha, thank you guys so much for coming on the show, and we can't wait to see how ErgoDEX grows over time.
Yeah, thank you guys for the invitation. Was glad to talk about ErgoDEX with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Likewise. All right. Bye, guys. See you on the next episode. Peace.